Well, hello there, and welcome to Amore with Allie. This show covers love and romance topics with a metaphysical twist. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Allie. Hello. I'm a certified professional sex coach, energy specialist, relationship expert, as well as a sixth-generation intuitive. I'm the creator of Out-of-Body Ecstasy, which is a personal energy method using dreams, astral travel, or telepathy to enhance your sex life, no matter if you're in a relationship or if you're flying solo. And energy blending, the art of blending personal energy to give you the ideal relationship from the boardroom to the bedroom. Now, besides this show, I also have the Allie Theiss show on Thursday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. on Blog Talk. And I have the Passion Zone, which is on Tuesday nights from 6:30 to 7, also on Blog Talk. To find out more about me and what I do, please visit my website, which is allietheiss.com. How you doing? Fresh off the Universal Life Expo in Columbus this past weekend, Veterans Memorial Hall. Very interesting weekend. Met a lot of fantastic people. Saw a lot of old friends. Even saved a dog. It was just a really, really good weekend. A few announcements. I think I said last time that the Out-of-Body Ecstasy book is now in softcover or paperback. So you can get it on your Kindle and you can get it in paperback. If you buy the paperback, I believe you can get the Kindle for an extra $1.99. So you can have both copies. One you'd have right away, the Kindle version, and the other one obviously be shipped to you. If you don't have a Kindle, it's okay. Amazon has these little free apps that you can download to your smartphone, to your tablet, to your computer, for free, of course, and you can read the books from that. So you don't actually have to have a Kindle, even though they said it's for the Kindle. Okay, so find out more about that. Visit the website or just go to Amazon.com and put in Out-of-Body Ecstasy. This show is picking up a little bit of a different format. I tend to change things. If you've been with me for a while, you would know this. Changing from time to time, trying to find the right rhythm, trying to find what people like to listen to, what they don't like to listen to. I have thrown out the questions that you guys send in because they stopped coming. Now, granted, I haven't been doing the show as often as I once did, but I was still getting questions in, and I haven't gotten questions in for months from anyone. So I decided just to stop the questions from now. If they start coming back to me, I will include them back in. If you want to put a question to me, it's amore@agelessknowledge.com. You can send in a question or a show idea. I would be more than happy to read both. Okay, so now we're going to go down to, this is what the show is going to be. I'm going to, well, obviously do my intro like I just did. Then we've got the love energy card of the weeks, because I usually want to do this every other week now. Whatever topic I want to discuss. The magical item of the week and an Aphrodisiac section. Before I forget, because I will forget if I don't mention it now, Mercury retrograde is happening on the 21st. It's going to last until November 10th. This one's going to be kind of nasty. It's going to put everybody into slow-mo, but the energy around us from everything else is going to make us want to hurry up. So the energy around us is pushing us, but Mercury retrograde is slowing everything down to a snail's pace. It's going to be absolutely frustrating. So between October 21st and November 10th, take a deep, deep breath. Breathe and just be. November 10th we'll get here before you know it, and Mercury retrograde will be bye-bye until 2014, and you can go ahead as planned. Make sure you don't start anything new during Mercury retrograde. Don't sign any contracts. Do not enter any brand new relationships. Do not go on a first date during a Mercury retrograde. Bad, bad, bad. It'll never work because communication stinks, and you guys are never on the same page if you guys go out for a first date on a Mercury retrograde. It's just something you want to completely avoid. Just an FYI. Now, the last time I did the show, I gave the affirmation, my message is unique, vital, and important to the world. So I hope you had a chance to say that a few dozen times between then and now. And I more importantly than saying it, I hope when you say these affirmations that you believe them to be true, because that belief in what you're saying is what's going to help make the affirmations reality. Now, I think it's already a reality that everyone's message is unique and vital and important to the world. We all have a unique message. That unique message is vital to somebody in the world. It may not be to everybody, but to somebody it is pretty vital. no matter what we do, no matter our age, no matter our gender, no matter where we live, no matter our social economic standing. We all have something vital. It's important that you know that and believe that. I'll be saying the next affirmation when I get to the bottom of the show. Now, first up is the love energy card. Now, I use, I'm a one-woman show. Let's see. Okay, can you see that? The Four of Chalices. Can you see? I'm trying to see if I can put this up kind of close. Do you see the three chalices there behind her? And then this one chalice is over here with the dolphin. Okay, you see how that is? Now, with the Four of Chalices, and this is from the Sarian Star Seed deck. Seems to be my deck of choice lately. What this card is really speaking about is that life is precious. Absolutely precious. Every single day, every single minute, every single second. Everything's precious because, as you know, once it's gone, we don't get it back, right? Okay. But if we're constantly looking ahead, trying to see what is in front of us, like, she's doing here in the card, she's looking up and being wistful. She's thinking, what's over there? What's happening? If we're constantly looking ahead for what might be ahead of us, we're totally missing what's in front of us. Now, granted, the three chalices are, behind her on the card. But if she would pay attention, she would notice that she has more with her on her little rock, than, I don't know if you guys are seeing this because I had to move stuff around. Okay. If she would notice that on this rock where she's sitting, there we go, there's the chalices. They're on the same portion of the rock with her. That's why it's like the present. It's not behind her, even though the chalices are sitting behind her. If she would notice that she has three wonderful chalices sitting there, then she wouldn't be off in a faraway land thinking about what's coming up, about that one chalice that's coming to her. She's got three. That's pretty darn good. What this means to you guys is that you need to pay attention to what's in front of you. Okay? That includes your relationships. Pay attention to what you currently have. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a romantic relationship. It can be brother, sister, parents, grandparents, son, daughter, best friends, animals. It doesn't matter what it is. The point is, if you don't pay attention, before you know it, they're in the past. And the future that you thought you were going to have, you don't have because you didn't pay attention to the present. Okay? If you want the relationship of your dreams, you need to pay attention to now, because now will create then. Think about it for a while. But yeah, so it's the Four Chalices, and this is what I want you to think about and mull over for the next couple weeks until I come back to do the next show. Now, I was supposed to do a show last Wednesday, but my jaw was swollen. No, nobody hit me, although it did look like it. I have a pinched nerve in my back, and when the nerve goes a little wonky on me, strange enough, my jaw swells. We don't know why it does that, but that's what happened. I looked like a chipmunk last Wednesday, so I forgoed doing this show, since this is video and not radio. So this is why I'm doing it a week late. Okay, topic of the week, I want to talk about soul agreements. Soul agreements as in the agreements you make with your life partners. Most people have more than one life partner. Very few marry when your high school sweetheart and stay married to that high school sweetheart forever. There are a few people who do. I have a couple people I went to high school with. Soon we're coming up on our 30th high school reunion, which is weird. But they dated them during high school and they're still married to them. And there really isn't a possibility of them ever getting divorced unless something hugely tragic would happen. But that's not going to happen. They'll be together till they're dead. But it doesn't happen to most people. Most people come into this life having to learn many lessons. And we enter into soul agreements before we incarnate in our bodies. with our soulmates, with our twin flames, to find out if they're going to come here on Earth, or if we're going to come here on Earth, or if they're going to stay behind and be a guide, or we'll stay behind and be a guide. Okay? Also in these soul agreements, we write down if we're going to meet up. We're going to meet up, and if we do meet up, are we going to have a relationship? What kind of relationship is it going to be? This is all figured out before we even show. So, if there's somebody you really want to be in a relationship with, and you know that your soulmates or twin flames, and that they should be one of your life partners, but they're not, and it keeps eluding the both of you, and you're like, wow, why can't we get together? It's because you've never made a soul agreement on it. And that just means this life, it just isn't meant to be. It's not the way the cookie crumbles this time around. Now, some of the most karmic is the word I'm looking for. Some of the most karmic reasons to meet again on Earth for past life and soulmate twin flame connections are to repay a debt or have a debt repaid to you, and that doesn't necessarily mean money. To learn a lesson or to right a wrong. One of you died way too early in a previous lifetime for your soul's growth. To finish something from a previous lifetime, to help another soul, or because of the deep and eternal love for one another. Now, the last one, G, is what it is on my sheet. The last one, G, is the people who find each other in high school or maybe college and stay together until they're very old and somebody passes away. My Uncle Bernie and Aunt Linda were that way. Bernie died, it's been 13 years now. Bernie's been gone. Diabetes. He had childhood diabetes, and it unfortunately just robbed him of everything when he hit his 50s. So, but Linda, my aunt, they met in college, were together almost immediately, even though Bernie was dating somebody else. And even though Bernie's been gone 13 years, Linda has zero wants, zero desire to ever date again. And she's in her 60s. How old is she now? She was older than Bernie, so she's 67 now. Really? Oh, that's weird for me to think that. So she's about 67, and when he passed away, she said, "I have zero reason to want to be with another person because he was my twin flame, and we agreed to be together, and I didn't sign any other agreements." It was just that simple. And she's good. She's good knowing that. So people like that, because of a deep and eternal love for one another, they come to Earth, they're together until one of them dies. Now, to get into this a little bit more, to repay a debt or to have a debt repaid to you. Reparation for a past wrong, as in a past life wrong, is one of the main reasons we connect with people from our past lives. There's a deep-seated feeling that our souls desperately need to make things right with other souls to whom we owe something. Now, the debts can mount over several lifetimes. You could have many smaller items to pay back, or one large bill that's due with interest. For example, my ex-husband, he owed me our son. I think that was a pretty big bill. He also owed me my life, which in a previous lifetime, I forget which past life it was. Oh, actually, no, I don't. It was a long time ago. He killed both my son and me, bastard. And so we had to come back in this life, and we signed a soul agreement to be together and for him to give me back my son, which he did. And I'm very grateful for that. My son is my number one love. Couldn't do it without him. But he owed that to me. And once he repaid back that debt, it was honestly like, well, why are we still married? So that was one of the big things. Now, there's no set rules for paying back a debt for anybody. You can make payments, so to speak, if the karmic debt is really big, or, give it one big swoop like he did with my son. The decision really is up to you and your soul. It craves to make things right, your soul does, and to settle a score in the most positive manner. You may not even be consciously aware of repaying this debt or having the debt repaid to you. If something doesn't seem good or fair in a relationship, ask your inner self what you're supposed to learn here or pay back. Then be grateful you have a chance to do so. Now, sometimes, as I said, you'll reincarnate and connect with another person so that they have a chance to pay off their karmic debt to you, and or you have chosen to be part of their life to aid in their soul's growth. If you're with somebody who owes you a karmic debt, you'll know it. And I did. How? Because this person has a desperate need to help you. And he did. They feel the need and obligation to go out of their way for you. Many times these relationship debts are found among lovers and families. Something to keep in mind now, if you're in a relationship and treating someone badly, the tables will turn sooner or later and you will have to suffer because of your actions. Now, interesting enough, he was a very helpful person, very into us and me and our marriage and everything until I had my son, or our son. And when I had our son, it was like, switch flipped off and he assumed he was single again. Surprise! But it was almost like a switch, literally a switch went off after Kyle was born. It was a strange thing. Now, hindsight, I'm looking back on this and going, oh yeah. But at the time, I didn't realize what was going on until my son was probably about 3 years old or so. And then I realized, aha, this is what's going on. So, yeah, karmic debt. Now, another one is to learn a lesson or right or wrong. I know lessons are like, I don't want to learn a lesson. Now, think about this. Have you ever been in a relationship, it could be a love or a friendship, where the two of you just could not seem to get it right? This is my first husband and me. You're together, you fight, you split, only to find yourselves back together again. Oh, that was us. You two deeply want to be together, but are stubborn enough to even try to agree to disagree. In many situations, egos can get in the way, but if you do not work out your problems in this lifetime, you must in the next, where the lessons of the heart could be harder and more painful. A good example of this is when two people who know they want to be together are never single at the same time. Some of the battles we face on our life's path may be blessings, only in disguise, as they give us a chance to grow as a soul. Some of your most difficult lessons will make you a stronger person. So if you're both single at the wrong time, it could be there's a lesson to learn maybe within your current relationship or their current relationship, and once that lesson is learned, then you could be together. Or you two were not supposed to be together to begin with because you didn't fill out the soul agreement to be together. It's usually one or the other. But my ex-husband, I only have 2 ex-husbands. I don't have a whole bunch. But this is my first ex-husband and I. We met when we were 15, dated on and off through high school. We broke up more times than we were together. If we were out someplace, it would usually be a very volatile interaction out in public. It usually people would try to break us up because he was a big football player, but I wasn't scared of him. We just, many years later, I haven't seen him since we divorced in 1992, yeah. But I think if he and I sat down now, I think we've gotten to a point that we've learned our lessons from back then, and I don't think we would be so volatile in public anymore. I think maturity also has a role to play in that. But the lesson I had to learn with him is to be my own person. Is really what it was, to be my own person. And I've always been a very people pleaser. And when I was younger, definitely, because I wanted people to like me. But in doing so, I didn't stand up for myself. I wasn't my own person. If I want to try a food, but somebody said, no, you don't need that, I'd say, okay, then I wouldn't get it. Nowadays, I'm like, well, let me try it. If I don't like it, I'll never get it again, but give me a shot. There's more to it than that, but that's the general gist of it. Okay, one of you died too early in a previous life. A common type of connection occurs when a person's life is cut short by an early death. and their loved one is left behind with a broken heart. The loved one left behind can't release the love or the pain. They hold on to it, they carry it with them from lifetime to lifetime, and it's like they get stuck in a warp, really, unable to break free. The pain of the loss runs so deep that it causes a fixed yet unyielding nature. Some people choose never to love again, or they are simply unable to love. When the souls are born again into the same lifetime, they are drawn together by this special bond of energy and feel a powerful urge to reunite. This can happen between lovers or parent-child. Until they come in contact with one another again, some may not marry, while others can get married or involved several times. But in either case, does that same strong bond develop with anyone but their beloved. Now, the fear of abandonment rolls over into this current life. The conscious memories are not there of why they feel so paranoid that their partner or their child or their parent will leave, but the soul remembers. In a romantic relationship, one partner can smother the other out of fear. With a parent-child relationship, either the parent can be overly protective or that child is overly protective and will not leave the home. And this is my son and I. He's already told me that when he gets married, they're moving into my basement. I told him no. He can have a house in the same town I'm in, but it needs to be down the street, or a few streets over, preferably. It cannot be across the street. It cannot be next door. I love him, and I want to be near him, but I don't want him to be right there. He does not need to know what his mother's doing all the time. You know what I mean? I don't need, because he would spy. He'd look out his curtain. What time's she coming home? I'm not kidding. He would. So he does have a fear of abandonment, and this would be from a previous lifetime. He and I have been mother, son, father, daughter, husband, wife, brother, sister in plenty of past lives, which is kind of creepy, the whole husband wife thingy, knowing that he's my son now. But it's him and I have been together, well, in just about, hundreds of lifetimes. We were going through talking about our lifetimes together one night, and we were writing stuff down. It's really quite interesting to get the perspective of past lives from a 13-year-old. Because as you know, as a kid, kids have different perspectives on things than adults do. And his perspectives are very interesting, pretty cool. I told him, I said, we should write a book. You know, his version of the past lives as a child and my versions, and match them up. You know, I don't know. We tossed it around. We thought it might be kind of fun. Who knows if we'll ever actually do it. The next one is for your soul's growth. Now, we're all in spiritual study, believe it or not. As we move through each lifetime, we learn new lessons, accomplish tasks, develop talents, and advance to higher levels of spiritual enlightenment. At least we're supposed to. Think of life as a spiritual school, from kindergarten all the way up to a PhD. There are different classes, teacher, tests, and all the grades. As the soul grows, it can get closer to the divine, which as it should. Sometimes a person can get stuck in, let's say, first grade, and needs to retake the class on compassion. Or perhaps the soul is not happy with the C they got in patience. So they strive to learn it again and grasp this knowledge to get an A+. Most of our soul's growth comes from our dealings in our personal relationships. It is through pain, difficulty, sorrow, and tragedy that we learn the most and experience the most soul growth. If your life seems to be filled with crisis after crisis, and I know there are plenty of you out there because you're my clients, know that when you handle challenges from a spiritual standpoint, your soul is advancing to yet another level. Accept these karmic lessons as opportunities. Always opportunities. To finish something from a previous lifetime. Now, souls, they have unfinished business. I mean, we go from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, and each lifetime isn't all packaged up with a nice little bow on top, right? In past life, if there were lessons not learned, tasks left undone, relationships did not happen. And that's a point, now I'm glad I wrote that down, that's a point I want to make. Soul agreements do bring the two of you together because you wrote it down. The actual relationship that forms out of that is up to the individual person. The person can say, no, I don't want that. You know, I don't want that in this lifetime, maybe next lifetime. You have the opportunity to say no, but there will be a nagging voice inside of your head, a nagging feeling that maybe you should have done something. That's the whole unfinished business part. Okay. The unfinished business can be positive or negative. Most of the time, it's negative. A soul feels a strong pull to complete something. Now, perhaps you feel a drive to accomplish. No one understands why you feel so passionately about a cause, but you do. Oftentimes, we have unfinished business in our relationships. If you feel that you need to end something or find closure with a situation or person, there's likely some door that was never shut tight. It's good to finish up and move on. Otherwise, this business may hold you back from progressing in other areas of your life. You can be so obsessed with one subject or one person that you cannot focus on anything else in your life. It's more than just passion. It's more like an obsession. You must complete it. Now, I have a client of mine. I don't necessarily, well, she's focused. I'd say she's focused in on a certain individual. So much so she moved cross country to be with them. It's somebody she turned down earlier in life, and as time went on, she's like, I always had that deep-seated feeling. I should have went. So now she did go. And slowly but surely they're picking up where they left off. It's been a focused attempt. I don't like to say the word obsession because I don't think she's obsessed. I mean, she doesn't eat, breathe, and sweat him every day. But she's been very focused and intent on going out there to where he is and having a good relationship. This is unfinished business between the two of them from previous lifetimes. The next one is to help another soul. Now, there are some souls who simply don't have to incarnate. They've gone through all the steps. They've got all their A pluses, or they're satisfied with whatever grade they got. They just didn't want to come back. But they have reached a level of enlightenment where they are not required to revisit the earthly plane, but they choose to do so anyways to help others on their path. Some souls purposely plant themselves in positions where they can do the most good for a single person or mankind as a whole. An example of this was Mother Teresa. She didn't have to come back, or Gandhi. They didn't have to come back, yet they did. And I'm sorry I don't remember her name, but I believe it's the young girl from Afghanistan who stood up to the Taliban. They're saying she's the reincarnation of Gandhi. Why not? If you listen to her, try to find an interview with her. She's highly intelligent, and she's got to be one of the bravest people I've ever seen. And she's a kid, physically. Soul, she's very old. You can tell just by the way she talks. But it's hard when you know somebody who comes into this existence solely to help somebody, like a Mother Teresa or Gandhi, and you're in love with them from a lifetime, a previous lifetime. If their sole focus is a cause as opposed to a person, there's no way in the world you're going to get in a relationship with them. It won't work because their sole intent to come back was because of the cause. And then last but not least, because of the deep and eternal love for one another. You saw The Notebook, right? If you haven't, you really should, or at least read the book. That's what I'm talking about, the deep and eternal love for one another. Those guys in that story, that's deep and eternal love. Many souls make pacts with those they love to reincarnate back together just because their love is just so strong and intense. They can't stand the thought of being without one another and often will continue to marry each other in every lifetime. A love like this is so powerful that the energy it creates holds people together for lifetimes. Literally. There's also the mother-child bond that is so strong that it can transcend several lifetimes. A mother's love is unconditional, and that's probably why it is so powerful. Many mothers want to be reunited with their children because they love them so much. When a soul has this need, it will find a way to get back to Earth to be part of a child's life, although in probably a different role than when they left the earthly plane before. My grandfather, Theiss, passed away when I was 5, so it was 1972. And my sister just had a boy. His name's David, and I know it's my grandpa reincarnated. I know it. I knew it when she told me she was pregnant. I knew it when he came out, when he opened his little peepers and looked at me for the first time, because I'm the only grandchild he knew. My other sister, I think she was 1, but he was always sick and in the hospital, so I don't think he got to spend much time with her. And then my youngest sister, he never knew. And she's the one that had him. So it's cool. Now, there's something that influences your meeting when it comes to people you have soul agreements with, and it's called karma. And I will talk about karma in the next episode of Amore with Allie. Big, nice continuation. Now, the magical item of this week. This is from my book, Gypsy Magic for the Lover's Soul. You can find out more about that on Amazon.com. And I love sachets. I do. I love sachets. I used to make them all the time. I haven't made one in a while. I've been thinking that maybe I should make them again. But, a sachet, the cloth is a nice little cloth bag with a drawstring. Or if you don't have that, a flat cloth with a yarn or thread or something, you can tie it shut. That'll also work. This magical item in the sachet is called Bring Love to You, number 1. I think I made a couple of them. I just called this one number 1. The best time to do this sachet is when the moon is either new, waxing, or full. The supplies you need 3 tablespoons of lavender, 2 tablespoons of rose petals, 1 tablespoon of jasmine flower, 1 tablespoon of orris root, and if you don't have orris root, powdered sugar will do, 1 small rose quartz, a non-metal bowl, a pink or red pouch or cloth, and a thread or ribbon if the cloth is used. And it's real easy. In the non-metal bowl, and you have a non-metal bowl, preferably glass or clay, because the metal, when you put the herbs in it, it changes the composition of the herbs. It reacts differently to it, and you don't want that. So when it comes to magic, never ever, under any circumstances, put things in a metal bowl. Okay? So you put the 3 teaspoons of lavender, the 2 teaspoons of rose petals, these are all tablespoons. 3 tablespoons of lavender, 2 tablespoons of rose petals, 1 tablespoon of jasmine flowers, 1 tablespoon of orris root. Put it in a bowl, mix it with your fingers. Mix it with your fingers, get it in there. I love the feelings of herbs as it's going through my fingers. Once it is nice and mixed, pour it into the sachet, whatever color sachet, pink or red, that you picked. Put in your rose quartz. Seal up the sachet either by the drawstring or tying it up. And then slowly massage the sachet. And when you do that, you're bruising the herbs. When you bruise the herbs, you kind of like awaken them. And then carry that with you for the next 3 months. When 3 months come around, dump out the herbs. You can reuse the cloth and the stone and make another one if you haven't found the love of your life yet. The sachet's worked a lot for a lot of people. It's a really good sachet. I'll say the ingredients again. 3 tablespoons of lavender, 2 tablespoons of rose petals, 1 tablespoon of jasmine flowers, 1 tablespoon of orris root, 1 small rose quartz, a non-metal bowl, a pink or red pouch or cloth, and the thread or ribbon if cloth is used. Okay? Use it. Trust me, it works. It works, but if you're going to use it, make it before Mercury retrograde on Monday. If you haven't made it by the time Mercury goes retrograde, then don't make it until when Mercury goes direct on November 10th. No magic during a retrograde. Mercury is the planet of communication, and you're communicating when you do magic. You don't want to take the chance. Now, for the Aphrodisiac section, I decided to add this in. I thought it'd be fun. The Aphrodisiac I want to talk about today is the pineapple. Yummy pineapple. It's the smell, the aroma of its sweetness, and then the juiciness of a pineapple is what earned it the rep of being an aphrodisiac fruit. It's juicy, yeah, and it's very sweet smelling. Now in Mazatlan, I think I said that right, Mazatlan, I was trying to think back to the Love Boat. They always stopped in Mazatlan. Mazatlan is the land of the pineapple. It's a region in ancient Mexico where the best and the strongest pineapples were grown, and I think they still are, for aphrodisiacs. Now the fruit, or the fresh pressed juice, is mentioned in aphrodisiac recipes. Interesting enough, I haven't found any reference at all to using the leaves as an aphrodisiac. But the leaves have a high hormonal activity about them. So it would be a very interesting ingredient in a love potion. So someone buy a pineapple and keep the leaves, actually the leaves of the tree. I wonder if you could use the leaves of those leaves too. Might be able to. Anybody near a pineapple tree or bush? They're actually bushes. Because take some of those leaves and try a love potion. Or take some of those leaves and send them to me. I'll try it. P.O. Box 1511, Worcester, W-O-O-S-T-E-R, Ohio, 44691. Please, send me some pineapple leaves from the bush. P.O. Box 1511, Worcester, Ohio, 44691. That's how you can send them to me. I would appreciate it. And then I'd make it and tell you guys about it. I thought. Now, a recipe for a love potion with the pineapple. You want to soak the heart, the meaty parts of a small sun-ripened pineapple in the Caribbean rum. Yummy. If you don't want to use Caribbean rum, you can always use a light white wine. You want to soak that in there for 8 hours. Okay? When you're done soaking it, you have a choice of either taking the pineapple out and eating the pineapple, or what you can do is, this is what I like to do, you take the pineapple out and you cut the pineapple off and put it back in with the Caribbean rum and keep it there. Keep the pineapple in the rum or the white wine, depending. And you want to sweeten this mix after 8 hours with honey. And then men and women both, take a drink daily from your Aphrodisiac pineapple stash for 2 weeks. Every day for 2 weeks, and you will feel your sexual power heighten. Might be good. Well, I'd say take it before you go to bed because it's rum or wine. It's a nice way to relax. But, of course, if you've got a partner you're going to bed with, maybe you both should try it. Make a double batch. Let me know. Let me know if you guys do this. Yeah. I'll let you know if I do it because I'm thinking about it. I do have rum, and I could get a pineapple. I have honey. We'll see. Okay, the affirmation for this week is, I am worthy of spectacular love. I am worthy of spectacular love. Period. I am worthy of spectacular love. Say it at least. Well, it's good if you can say it, many, many times during the day, every day between now and the next time we do the show. I am worthy of spectacular love. When I do affirmations, when I'm not thinking of anything or doing anything, I have affirmations going on in my head. So it's like, it's automatic for me now. I'm not doing anything, affirmation. Do stuff, affirmation. So give it a shot. You are worthy of a spectacular love. I'm worthy of spectacular love. We all are. Say the affirmations and you shall find a spectacular love. Now, to see past episodes of this show, you can visit my website, AllieTheiss.com, the YouTube channel. You can do the Amore videos, which is me, or Ageless Knowledge also has a YouTube channel, or you can go to agelessknowledge.com. There are lots of ways to see the back episodes of Amore with Allie. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by and watching Amore with Allie. Until next time, keep laughing, keep living, and of course, guys, always keep loving. You take care of yourselves. Bye.